Welcome to the podcast, The Pilgrim and the Monk. A developing story of a pilgrim who is seeking the truth, and a monk who helps him find the way. Written by Timothy G.A. Cooper. Narrated and produced by Greg Cooper. Chapter 113. The Burden of Fame.
Monk, have you ever wondered if it's wrong to desire fame?
I cannot claim any deep knowledge about that. It is not something I desire.
If you think about it, fame is bound to happen to someone. It's inevitable, isn't it?
I suppose that is true. I wonder about the nature of fame. Many become famous for what they accomplish. To excel at a high level can undoubtedly bring renown.
Even our Lord became famous, attracting the attention of kings.
True, but what about the individuals who seek notoriety through acts of crime or terror?
This is part of the reason I brought this up. Infamy is still fame.
Let us consider the wisest of us all. Lest we forget, he was granted fame by God. His testimony shows us that the weeds of pride grow from the soil of fame.
So how do we protect ourselves from that?
I am not sure if it is possible. If the wisest of us all succumbed to pride, what hope do any of us have?
There has to be a way. Not everyone who is famous falls from grace.
You are far more hopeful than I, Pilgrim.
What if fame happens to someone? Perhaps it isn't something they covet. It just happens.
Pride is always a destructive force. Once it gains a foothold, it wages war against godliness.
So, if the evil one wants to undermine someone godly, all he has to do is make them famous? That's incredibly cynical of you, Monk.
It is a conclusion based on many years of evidence. I believe anonymity is a gift from God. It is far better to remain humble and obedient than famous and proud.
I'm just not convinced fame necessarily leads to pride.
My only defense are the testimonies of those who have fallen. Moses, King Saul, King David, King Solomon. They all fell due to pride.
But not necessarily due to fame.
You cannot ignore the connection either.
I don't want to believe our spiritual leaders are doomed to fall. We need them.
Please do not place too much on earthly leaders. We are disciples of Christ, not of any spiritual leader.
How do you differentiate between fame and reputation? Someone might have a famous reputation for humility.
Every year, one small town would give the awards to their citizens. One old gentleman was given the award for most humble. He was so proud of it, they took it away.
Did you just tell a joke?
It proves my point. The battle between pride and humility is continuous. The only way to overcome pride is to focus on our Lord and acknowledge our dependence on Him.
That reminds me of Peter walking on water during the storm. As long as his focus was on the Lord, he stood. When he shifted his focus to his circumstances, he sank.
That is the only way we can handle the burden of fame. Whether our circumstances are good or bad, we must keep our eyes on our Lord.
That is wise advice, Monk.
Perhaps, Pilgrim, but it is also a discipline we must always struggle to develop.
You've been listening to The Pilgrim and the Monk, written by Timothy G.A. Cooper, narrated and produced by Greg Cooper. We hope you enjoyed this production. Please join us again for the next episode.